Hello everybody and welcome to the Introduction to CAD module. This is the first module of the Computer-Aided Design onboarding for Rocket Team, and here we'll be exploring how to use the Solidworks program. We'll be exploring the tools such as sketching, part creation, and assemblies. We will be starting from step 3 of the module document, so this assumes that you've read a brief introduction of what CAD is, and you have installed SolidWorks and GrabCAD. This is what you see when you first open up SolidWorks. As you can see here, we are greeted by a welcome box. This can provide you with some quick links to get around, but obviously there are other ways to navigate to these things. In SolidWorks, there are 3 major file types. There are parts, assemblies, and drawings. Part is simply just an individual component. It usually has a sketch involved with it, and then that sketch is brought into 3D space. There are assemblies, which are just groups of parts that are mated and put together. So if you imagine a car, the car itself would be an assembly, but the handle or the tire would be an individual part that goes into that assembly. Drawings are a way to project a part or assembly onto 2D paper to provide dimensions and notations for manufacturers. We're going to go ahead and select part because that's how you will start any of your design. And so what that's doing here is that's creating a new file in the part workspace. As you can see here, SolidWorks has a standard file manager, as you'll see with any other program. The only important one here is File, where you can make new parts, you can open up parts you've already created, and you can save and save as. Just below is what I call the toolbar. This is where you do a lot of the work in SolidWorks. You can see here there are different tabs. Each of them has a bunch of different tools that you use for different purposes. The main ones that we'll be going into for this beginning module is just Features and Sketch. Another important thing over here is the feature tree. As you can see here, up here is the name of our part, part 1, since we haven't given a name yet. And it has some things like history, sensors, annotations, material, and it has the base Cartesian planes, as well as an origin. When we do operations to this part, it will show up here, which is useful if you want to edit it or check out your part later. And the last important thing up here is there are a lot of view tools which can help you change the orientation of your part to see different views, such as section view. We can cut away parts of your part, and we'll go into this next. To show this off, we're going to open up a simple part that we have created for you. So to do this, you're going to go File and Open, and you're going to navigate to the GrabCAD for Rocket Team onboarding. And this is where we will put in source files for later on in the tutorial. So we're going to go to the CAD portion, Introduction to CAD, and the source files, and open this up. And so now you'll notice that we have a simple cube in here with some holes in it. And so there are a lot of ways to orient your parts in SolidWorks. So if I just click on the scroll wheel of my mouse, I can rotate the part like this. You can see it's rotating it in 3D space. If I do Control and scroll wheel and drag, it'll move the part or pan it. That's also pretty useful. If you want to find a quick way to get normal to this face, if you just click on it and then do Control 8, I am now perfectly normal to this face. One last thing is if you press spacebar, this orientation cube will pop up and I can click on the face I want to be normal to. The one thing this also used for is I can go in 45-degree angles, so I can get like a better isometric view. So now we're going to explore sketching. So you can either open up a new part or go back to the part 1 that you initially opened. And now we have a part workspace. So to start with sketching a part, we're going to be in the sketch tab over here in the toolbar. And so just make a new sketch. All you have to do is simply click the sketch button right here and then pick the plane you want to sketch in. This all depends on preference where you're looking, depending on how you're looking at your assembly. You know, with rockets, we typically like to build bottom up, so we like to build on the top plane. It makes you think you're really stacking the parts on top of each other, but the most standard is the front plane. Okay, so now some noticeable things. As you can see here in this workspace, we have an origin by these red arrows. This little center point, that's the 0, 0, 0 point. Over here on the left, you can see the X and Y axis. That's because it's sketched on the front plane. It's hard to tell, but I'm scrolling, so I'm rotating, and you can see now I've rotated those axes. But I'm gonna press Control 8 to go back to normal, because I want to be sketching in this normal plane. So up here in the sketch tab, there are a lot of different shapes, different lines, different kind of things you can make to make a part. I'm going to start with the circle tool, so I just click on this. And now when I make a circle, it's going to ask for the center point first, so I just click the center point. It's easiest to start at the origin. And then I can drag out and make the circle any size I want. So I'm just click it here. One important thing is, as you can see, the units are in metric. So that there was 0.6 meters. If you want to change to imperial units, on the bottom right here, you can change to IPS. So we're going to do that. And whenever you change units, it closes you out of the sketch. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click and then edit sketch. And now I'm back in the sketch. So we have a circle here. I can take this and drag it any way I want because I haven't exactly set a dimension. The way to set a dimension for a shape is to apply a smart dimension. So if I click on here and I click out, and then notice this box comes up and it's asking for me, what do you want the dimension to be? So I'm going to get 3 inches. Notice that it scaled the circle down to 3 inches. It also made this line turn from blue to black. That's pretty important. What that means is that this circle is fully defined. We'll go more into that later, but let's look at how we can change it. So if I just double click on this, I can edit dimension. I can make it 2 inches. Notice that I didn't type in the inches. It automatically put that inches on top because I specified the units in the parts. That's pretty important. Other things I can do here is I can make rectangles. So I can just do a rectangle where I can click a point and click a corner. And now we have a rectangle. Again, this is blue because I haven't specified the size, so I can click and drag and change it however I want. It doesn't stay still until I attach dimension. So I can attach dimension here and attach dimension here. Or no. And since it's a rectangle, it's going to keep this side and this side equal, and this side and this side equal. That goes into relations, which we'll talk about later. This is just to show off some of the shapes. And obviously I can do some simple lines, so I can just draw a line here, 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 if I want to do some complex shapes. And something to notice is that these are open lines. As soon as SolidWorks sees a closed region, it's going to shade it. And that's important for some 3D features, if you're going to extrude this or make this a 3D shape. Okay, now you can delete any sketches or lines or anything like that by just clicking on and pressing delete, or right clicking and going to delete here. If you click on an entire shape, it will delete that entire shape. Okay, so now we're just going to work with this circle. The other tab that's important for this tutorial is the features. So if I go to the features, this is how I take a 2D shape into the 3D space. The simplest way is to extrude. That's to say, hey, we have a circle here, let's just add a depth dimension. So if I click on extrude, SolidWorks is going to automatically select the circle because it's the only thing here. But if you have a lot of different contours, SolidWorks is going to guess which one you want. So if you ever want to change, if you see this drop down here, you could see this box selected contours. If you can just click on that and just click on the part you want, or click on the region you want. This tab is a little weird in SolidWorks. If you want to change the thing that's selected, you press delete or clear selections, and then you have to click the box and click that. There's a lot of different other options, but for the purpose of this, we're just going to do a blind extrusion. That just means it's going to extrude this whatever the length you say. So let's make it 1 inch. You can see here, SolidWorks will preview it. You can see it's actually protruding out. If I press the check mark, it's going to apply it. And notice we have a cylinder. Now, one other important thing, if you see over here on the feature tree, we are starting to populate it with operations we've done. You can see here we have an extrude. That's a 3D feature we did. Then contained within this is our sketch, which is the circle. Which I can edit the sketch and I can make this, I'm doing Control 8 to go back normal to the circle, and then I can edit this to 3 inches. And now when I exit this sketch up here, the cylinder updated to be bigger. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to save this part. So if you can do this by going to File, Save, or just Control S. And I'm just going to make it on my desktop, but you'd want to put it in a smart location. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new part. So I'm going to do that by File and New. And in this thing, I'm going to click New Part. Now I'm going to do the same sort of process as with the previous part, except I'm going to make the cylinder a little smaller. So again, I just did a new sketch on the front plane. We have our origin there. I'm going to do a circle, click the origin, and click out. And I want this to be an IPS, so I'm going to change that to IPS here. And I'm going to edit the sketch. Now let's make this 1.5. And exit the sketch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this. It's important to note that when you want to extrude, you have to have the sketch that you want to extrude selected. So I didn't have it there, so Solidworks didn't know what to extrude. And now I click extrude. And let's make it 5. Okay. Now another cool thing you can do in Solidworks is you can make sketches on faces of a part. So I've made this 3D cylinder, and notice that the front plane started at this circle. What I can do is I can make a new sketch, and I can click on this face, and now I have a sketch on this top face. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another circle. I'll make it a little smaller than the outside, so let's make it, let's go 0.5. Okay, and so now you notice I have a circle on this face. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do similar to extrude. Extrude adds material to a sketch. Extruded cut will remove material. So if I do extruded cut and I select this, and I could do blind 1.5 because that's the dimension of this cylinder, but another cool thing I can do is I can do through all. So this says cut all the material I possibly can that satisfy these conditions. So basically this circle, just cut it through the entire part. Now notice we have a hole in our cylinder. And I also have a new operation here, which is a cut extrude. I can also change this. I can edit the dimension of the circle. And now, yeah, and that would update the size of the hole. I'm going to save this part as well. And the last part of this tutorial is we're going to make a new assembly. So if I do new and assembly, this workspace is a little different than what we were working before. You can see this thing pops from the left side, and to begin an assembly we have to insert parts. So Solidworks recognize parts you have been working with or parts that you have open. So I want the large cylinder in, and I also want the small cylinder in. So I insert the large cylinder, and now to insert more I have to click on this insert components here, and then just click on this, and I can put it in wherever I want. And now notice we have 2 components in this workspace. One important thing is the first part you put in assembly, Solidworks grounds, meaning it won't allow you to move it. This allows you to provide some basis in 3D space for your entire assembly. If I want to get rid of that, I can right click on this part, because you see I can't click this, I can't drag it. I can just click on float, and now I can move it around. I'm going to undo because I actually do want this to be fixed. Okay, so what you can do in assemblies is the most important thing that we're going to go into in this tutorial is mate. Mate is make a connection between two different parts. So let's start with just clicking this. And now when I do mate here, it has a box here, which this asks for the components you want to make together. So there are many different types, but we're going to start with just coincident. Coincident is the simplest mate. It just means make these things touch. So if I click on this face and this face, SolidWorks is going to make them touch. It's a little hard to see in 3D space, but these faces are perfectly touching. And if I just press the check mark, it will be okay with that. So now even when I move this around like this, you can see that's still touching. I want this in the center of this, so to do that, we're going to use a different mate. The useful mate for cylinders and circles is concentric. Concentric means make these two things have the same center point. So I can just pick this and this. And now notice this moved into place and made it so these cylinders have the same center. And when I press check mark, it'll apply that. And now notice I can't move this because we have said that this is going to be touching here and it's going to be in the center of the circle, meaning in the X, Y, and Z axis, it can't move. Now, one important note with this is you can't tell because the cylinder doesn't have any features on the outside, but this part can actually still rotate. A little hard to see because this is a simple cylinder, but it can still rotate, which if that matters, there are other constraints you need to apply to stop that. But that is the simple tools of an assembly. I hope this helps. Please feel free to ask any questions if you're having trouble with working with SolidWorks. There are also other videos on YouTube that can help you do other things, and we will be going into more complex stuff in the later modules.